Oh, hey there. How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. We are on day 21, 3 weeks into our cross Canada trip, and the shunpiking will continue. Now remember from last video that shunpiking means avoiding the main roads, major roads, and we did that a lot today. We traveled from New Glasgow to Moncton, New Brunswick. And now that's only 228 kilometers, but if you look at the map here, you can see the very roundabout way that we got to Moncton. We took some nice narrow 2-lane back roads south down to Halifax. We stopped in at the Halifax airport for a while, then we visited Peggy's Cove, and then we came around and back up to Truro, and then you can see that we went north of the Trans-Canada Highway and through some lovely places like Tatamagouche and Dieppe and Pugwash. Yeah, some neat names, and just lovely twisty roads, no shoulders on lots of the roads. And also you can see, like in this picture here, some reddish looking pavement because of the red earth and rocks that are prevalent in this area of Canada. We even went through Shubenacadie, where the maritime groundhog Shubenacadie Sam predicts whether there'll be 6 weeks of winter or an early spring. Well, let's get to some of the things we did along the way. We stopped in at the Halifax airport because a cousin of ours, David, and his wife Michelle Johnston, they run a helicopter business called Vision Air Services. And David is the son of our cousin Jim Johnston, and his wife is Brenda. And Jim just passed away last December. And we kind of reconnected with David and got to meet his wife Michelle. And we stopped in and saw their fleet of helicopters that they use to provide many different services. And so here you can see the hangar. We hung out here at the hangar talking with David and Michelle, and he graciously showed us around. Here's cousin Jim's favorite helicopter, and if you look inside, you'll see some brand new reupholstered seats. It's really looking good, and it still flies great. Their biggest helicopter is a twin-engine Sikorsky. It holds 8 passengers, and then here's a picture of one of the engines of the helicopter. And David had just got a new engine coming in, and here it is here. And that engine, you look at the size of it, it actually only weighs 150 pounds, but it produces over 400 horsepower. Quite amazing. The other people use the hangar as well, and it was pretty cool to watch how they pull a plane out of the hangar here in this little video. We also had the opportunity to have lunch with Jim's wife Brenda, David's mom, and also we got to meet and have lunch with Jenny and Judy. Those are my dad's wife Doreen's daughters that we'd never met. And so that was quite special. We went to a place called the Inn at the Lake and really got to get to know each other and have a few laughs and share stories. It was very nice. After that, we headed to Peggy's Cove, home of the most photographed lighthouse in the world. And you can see why in the pictures. Very rugged coastline there, and you have to be careful on all the rocks there, because you're not really supposed to go out and walk on these rocks, but people do, and they can be slippery, and some people have gotten injured and even have died. They've slipped into the water and they can't get out, so you really have to be careful there. It was cold and rainy when we were at the hangar at the airport, and it was still cold and rainy when we were at Peggy's Cove. So you can see these two hobbits at Peggy's Cove. Oh wait, no, that's actually Larry and Delia, and they're bundled up because it was really chilly. They have a beautiful boardwalk to get down and around to the lighthouse, and some neat places like these beautiful little blue chairs that look so inviting, but nobody's going to sit in those when it's cold and rainy and there's a breeze. But it was a lovely place to visit. We drove up towards Truro on Highway 102, which is not really a Shunpiken road, but it's not the Trans-Canada at least. And when we got to Truro, as I said, we went north of Highway 1 on secondary roads through Tatamagouche. We came to Port Howe. And you can see there's a ship that is run aground, or it's just low tide, whatever. That ship's not going anywhere until the tide comes in. Went through Pugwash, as I mentioned, and fun name to say. There's a lot of fun names to say out in Nova Scotia, but Pugwash was it. And then when we came back down, we eventually joined back up with the Trans-Canada for just a short bit, and then we ducked south of the Trans-Canada to take those Shunpiken secondary roads all the way to Moncton. So it was a cold, rainy day much of the time. There were some warm and pleasant times, and of course the company and meeting family was a highlight of this day as well. All in all, lovely day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and we will catch you on day 22. See you then. Bye for now.